So I opened my fucking Instagram, right? First thing I see on my screen, it was about 2 days ago by the time this video comes out now. First thing I see is Alexander Volkanovski versus Yair Rodriguez 2 is in the works for the UFC Guadalajara card, the UFC Noche card, whatever the fuck the name of the card. I think it's like UFC 320 if I had to guess. But yeah, they're trying to rebook Volk and Yair. Tony has died. We'll be talking about all of the fights that the UFC has made in recent, like the past couple weeks that just don't make any sense for the sport, bro. Like, this doesn't make any fucking sense whatsoever. Volk masterclassed Yair in their first fight. Ever since then, Yair lost to Brian Ortega, and he lost to Max Holloway, he lost to Brian Ortega, and he lost to Volk. He beat fucking 36-year-old Patricio Pitbull, and he gets a fucking title shot off of that? What the actual fuck is the UFC doing? This doesn't make any sense at all. Why is this guy getting a title shot after beating 36-year-old, making his UFC debut, Patricio Pitbull? And I'll tell you why. It's because he's a Mexican and they need someone to headline that Mexico card. They really don't need someone to headline that Mexico card. If you look at the Canada card, there is no Canadian in the main event. They had fucking Bilal, who's from Chicago, and Jack Della Maddalena, who's from fucking Australia. We don't need to headline the event with someone from that fucking country. We just need fighters from that country on the card. Like, they put Mike Malott on that card. They put Ayman Zahabi on that card. And they were good fights. This is being forced upon us, and it doesn't make any sense. Like, let's look at another card. Like, let's look at UFC 314. That card was headlined by Volk, who's Australian, and Lopez, who's fucking Brazilian, and there is nobody from Miami on this fucking card. Michael Chandler's not from Miami, Paddy Pimblett's not from Miami, Yair's not from Miami, Pitbull's not from Miami, Jeff Neal isn't from Miami. None of these people are from Miami. So why do we have to have a Mexican headline the Mexican card? Why can't we just do the fight that every single person wanted after that press conference moment? Yair Rodriguez versus Diego Lopez. There's clearly animosity between these two. They do not like each other. It makes sense rankings wise. Why is that fight just not being booked as like the co-main? Because then you have a bunch of people, a bunch of featherweights, and that pisses me off is that Movsar Evloev, who is 6-0 in the UFC with a win over Lopez, who's the number 2 guy, a win over former champion Aljamain Sterling, a win over Arnold Allen, and a win over Dan Ige. Apparently that doesn't get you shit in this fucking sport anymore. Apparently all you have to do is suck Dana White's dick and be Mexican and you get a fucking title shot, bro. It doesn't make any fucking sense. It's fucking bullshit, dude. It's so fucking bullshit, bro. Like, Yair is a fun guy, but he's literally 1-3 in his last 4, bro. Nobody counts the Ortega win as a win. It's a fucking fluke. He injured himself. This shit makes no sense at all. And this pisses me off is they're doing this with fucking Aaron Pico. Which brings me to this next fucking fight. Why is Movsar not getting the title shot? They're giving it to this fucking random, not giving a title shot. They're giving Movsar this random fucking PFL Bellator fucking guy, Aaron Pico. This isn't like a Michael Chandler situation where everyone has seen Michael Chandler's crazy highlights, or this isn't like an MVP situation where everyone knows who MVP is. Who the fuck is Aaron Pico, and why is he getting number 4 Movsar Evloev? This doesn't make any fucking sense at all, bro. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, this is not what we want to see. Like, you don't have to be a fan of Movsar Evloev, but at this stage in Volk's career, we know how good Volk is, and we want to see we know how good Movsar is, and we want to see that fight because that hasn't happened before. We don't want to see a Volkanovski rematch. It doesn't make any fucking sense, bro. I get it. They want to fucking eliminate Movsar because he's so fucking boring. They want to get rid of Movsar. I get it, bro. But this is not the way to do it. Let Volk handle Movsar. He'll beat Movsar. I really do. I think Volk would beat Movsar, and I'm going to pick Volk to beat Yair too. So this shit just doesn't make any sense. But this is kind of getting to the point that I'm trying to make, is that the UFC isn't making fights that we want to see. Look no further than 317 International Fight Week. We got Charles Oliveira versus Ilia Topuria. Why is Arman Tsarukyan or Islam Makhachev not involved in this fucking title fight in any capacity at all. I am fine with Ilya fighting for the belt. I'm even fine with Charles fighting for the belt, even though I'd much rather have Arman over there. Not having Islam Makhachev defend his belt against probably his hardest contender, which would have been Ilya, which would have been Arman. Why did the UFC allow Islam to move up? 2 of his title defenses were on short notice. One was against Dustin on 6 weeks notice. I don't consider that short notice, but it's still the fucking point that it's Dustin and he's fucking 35 years old. Why does the UFC not make the fights that we want to see? Islam versus Ilya would have been one of the best fights in UFC history, and we're never gonna fucking see it. Because do you really think that if Islam beats JDM, he's gonna come back down to lightweight? Fuck no, he's gonna stay there. Why would he cut back down to the weight class with a harder fight? He's not gonna do that because he's smart about his career, but that doesn't matter because that's not what the fucking fans want, and that's not what we want. Oliveira should be fighting Arman Sarukian, no question. Or he should be fighting Max Holloway, no question. He should not be fighting for the belt. He just lost 1 fight ago to Arman. There's an argument that he could have won, but he didn't. Okay? So at the end of the day, this shit doesn't make any sense. I don't even like Ilya moving up. Ilya should have fucking stayed at featherweight. You know, it just doesn't make any fucking sense. I've been talking about fights that the UFC has made that we don't want. Now let's talk about one that they haven't made. The fact that this shit hasn't been booked yet is ridiculous. It is unheard of, okay? Even during the fucking time of like Khabib and Tony, they still tried to book them against each other and they still stripped Conor, you know? Jon Jones needs to be stripped or he needs to fight Tom Aspinall, and it needs to happen soon. If they don't agree to anything soon, they're just throwing their fucking credibility out the window every single fucking second, bro. It's just ridiculous. Like, why has the interim champion not fought the undisputed champion in 18 months? This shit makes no sense, bro. It really doesn't. Like, it is that simple. The undisputed champion must unify the belt with the interim champion. Tom Aspinall said, I just want to fight Jon. I just want to fight Jon. Let me fight Jon. I will take no money. I don't give a fuck. Just let me fight Jon Jones for the belt. And Jon Jones is basically just doing everything in his power to not fight Tom Aspinall, to go hang out with ladyboys in Thailand, to fucking get choked out by Hezbollah, to fucking, you know, he's even responding to me now with my fucking petition that I made. He is even talking about that rather than fighting fucking Tom Aspinall, bro. We just want one thing from you. We get it. You were the champion for fucking 10 years or however long you were the fucking champion for. At this stage, it's over. You're fucking old now. You're not the fucking man you used to be, bro. You beat washed ass fucking 43-year-old, 44-year-old Stipe. Ciryl Gane. Congrats, bro. Ciryl Gane, that's a decent win, but bro, should you be the undisputed champion for beating Ciryl Gane? Probably fucking not, bro. Let's keep it real. You're the first disputed champion. But it's just the UFC's not making this fucking fight for some reason. Like, I don't know if they're trying to protect Jon or if they're like, what they're trying to do is get one more fight out of Jon Jones before he retires and sails off into the sunset. It's just harming your reputation to a point where it's like whatever money you would make from one more Jon Jones fight isn't worth it. Like, we used to think that the best fought the best, you know? We'd always talk about, look at all those chumps in boxing. They're just fighting fucking bums, bro. In the UFC, the best fight the best. No, they don't, bro. The undisputed champion will not fight the interim champion. Volk's not fighting Movsar. Islam's not fighting Ilya. The only one that we can even say, we got Dricus Chimaev, thank God. That's all we fucking wanted was Dricus Chimaev. And if Ilya Islam and Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall, imagine if all 3 of those got made, how great this year would be. But instead they're doing Ilya versus Oliveira. Like, it just doesn't make sense, bro. And let's talk about the next fight, bro. JDM versus Islam Makhachev. Listen, I like Islam Makhachev, but him moving to the 170-pound division when there is a clear fucking contender at lightweight, you can't say I cleared out my division because you didn't. You had Arman and you had Ilya. So if you don't fight those 2 people, how can you clear out the division and move up? Like, I don't even like Ilya moving up. I think Ilya should have fought the Gene Silva, the Diego Lopez. I wanted Ilya to stay at 145. So let's not even get to that part. Like, don't even comment that like, bro, Blah, 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 blah. Oh, you're such an idiot. Look at Ilya moving up. I don't want Ilya to move up too, but if he is, then fucking Islam can't move up. We're going to have every single fucking person move up now. It's so dumb, bro. It's so dumb. JDM has, we all wanted JDM versus Shavkat. That is the fight. That is a beautiful fight. 2 undefeated UFC fighters, both on 17 fight win streaks. JDM versus Shavkat is fire. But we're not gonna fucking get it because we're getting fucking Islam moving up. So it's pissing me off from the UFC. Why does Islam get to move up when he still hasn't fought Arman and he still hasn't fought Ilya? It doesn't make sense. Like, what is the UFC is just not making the fights that we want to see. Which brings me to my other point, bro. This is a fucking fight that just got made. Not just, but Derek Lewis versus Taliesin Teixeira. And this is a main event. Holy fucking shit. This is a terrible fucking fight. And it makes no sense. Derek Lewis was born in 1985. This fucking guy he's fighting is 14 years younger than him. However, it's his second fucking fight in the UFC. He has 1 fight in the UFC and he's fucking main eventing a fight night.
Dana, what's wrong with UFC, man?
What is the deal with this, bro? And it's not just him. It's this other fight too. Mario Batista versus Patchy Mix. How come Rainer de Ridder had to fight GM3, had to fight Kevin Holland, even had to fight Bo Nickel? How come GM3 had to do that? How come Rainer de Ridder had to fight all 3 of those guys? But Patchy Mix, he gets Mario Batista. Aaron Pico, Movsar Evelev. Yuri, bro. Even fucking Patricio Pitbull, you get Yair Rodriguez. Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense, bro. Patricio Pitbull should not be fighting Mario Batista. As much as I hate Mario Batista, he has been in the UFC. He has fucking 11 fights in the UFC. This is Patricio Pitbull's debut. He has to fight someone that's fucking been in the UFC already. How come he just gets fucking Mario Batista coming off his best win? How come this fucking Taliesin Teixeira dude gets Derek Lewis? Fucking Derek Lewis has over 30 fights in the UFC. He has the most knockouts in the UFC. This is this guy's second fight. Why is he main eventing? Why is this fucking Islam versus JDM getting made? Why is Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall not getting made? Why is Movsar Evelev versus Aaron Pico getting made? Why is Charles Oliveira versus Ilya Topuria getting made? Why is Yair Rodriguez versus Volk getting made? The fucking UFC is fumbling. It is fumbling. They're just making fucking bullshit and because they know we'll fucking buy it. These fights make no fucking sense in any fucking way, shape, or form or world. Why, Dana White? Like, it just doesn't make sense. You're giving Yair Rodriguez a title shot because he's a fucking Mexican. And this just brings me to my other point that I've been making, bro. These rematches make no sense. Like, why are we getting Strickland versus Dricus rematch? Why are we getting Amanda Ribas versus Mackenzie Dern rematch? Why are we getting, this is a rumor that I heard that they're going to make this, so it's not 100% confirmed. From what I hear, they're going to make Strickland versus Adesanya the rematch. We don't want to see rematches that are useless. If this person might deserve to get a rematch, then okay, let's run it back. Max versus Dustin 3. That makes no sense. Why are they doing that? Dustin is literally 2-0. Add someone new to Dustin's legacy. Like, fucking Islam said he wanted Ilya to fight a lightweight. Fight Arman, and then Ilya can fight Dustin. And then once fucking Ilya beats Dustin, probably that's what would happen. Once Ilya beats Dustin, then let him fight for the fucking belt, bro. But don't move up away. Dude, it's just, the UFC has just, they've just not been doing what the fans want this year at all, bro. These fucking title shots that they're giving out are just ridiculous. These fights, these extra rematches that they're making, these shitty ass Apex fucking cards. Like this week, it's fucking Aaron Blanchfield versus Macy Barber. Like, I can't fucking do this shit, bro.
I just can't do it. I can't take this shit no more, man.
Fucking fire Dana White. Fucking sign my petition to strip Jon Jones. Why? I just fucking send ICE into fucking Mexico and slime Yair Rodriguez. Fuck this shit. I'm out, bro. I hope everyone has a good day. If you like the video, like, subscribe, do all that. Thank you and have a good day. Peace.